Hello, everyone. Today we have a very, very special guest, Dr. Denise Revel, and she is an amazing woman, an amazing woman. Well, how amazing did you say? We will learn all about her amazingness. I just made that up, but we will learn all about her amazingness as we chat with her today. So, and be sure to stay tuned until the end of this interview because we have a very special offer for you. All right, Dr. Denise, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much for having me today, Jamel.
Oh, yes, it is my pleasure. Trust me. Um, so please introduce yourself to everyone watching and just explain a little bit about your journey to where you are today.
Absolutely. So again, Denise, and 25 years, I have literally helped people to find their voices. And what do I mean by that? I have been a speech language pathologist for over 25 years, primarily working with children to help them to communicate more effectively. But about 4 years ago, my work got extended in the sense that I founded the Own Your Amazing movement. And it's a movement that's created to help women to feel empowered and to find their voice and to really live their worth out loud. And the journey started because that was my story. I was not living my worth out loud. I did not have, real authentic voice. I was not living a life that I enjoyed and miserable. And so I got on the journey. And so I've been on that journey ever since. And so I invite other women to come along with me.
So, Dr. Denise, tell us what was the inspiration for the Own Your Amazing movement?
Okay, great. Few years ago, I was on this journey, a self discovery, and I was attending different workshops and reading books. But this one particular time, I went to a weekend retreat in Dallas. And when I arrived, I met different people, but one particular lady, we kind of bonded. And so we decided to go out to dinner just to get to know one another and just share with one another. So it was great. So the next day, it was time for us to get together as a group. And everyone who attended had an opportunity to come in front of the room and have the facilitator to coach them and to pour into them. And many of the people who had gone before me, they were just crying, boo-hooing, and all that. So I said to myself, I am not going to do that. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. It's going to be okay. And so now it's my turn to get, to sit in. She called it the love seat. So I sat down in the love seat and immediately started crying. Like, what is going on? And so I was just boo-hooing. I was really just crying a lot. And so she was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to get my life. And so finally, the lady who I had gone out to dinner with the night before, she said, I know what's wrong with you. And so I was thinking, we just met. You don't know me. I've been trying to figure out me for years, and now you, who met me a few hours ago, can tell me what's wrong with me. All of that is going through my head, right? And so I just looked at her and said, oh, okay, what's wrong with me? She said, you're smart, you're talented, you're brilliant. She said, you're all these wonderful things.
Right.
She said, but you don't own it. You need to own your amazing and stop playing small. Literally, people would say, was like, I just got chill bumps. The facilitator was like, oh my God, that's it. Everybody was like, oh, that is it. And I was like, oh my God, she knows me so well. And so that was the beginning. That was the inspiration for the movement. But what she really helped me to do was put language around what I had been feeling. Because deep down inside, we know we're built for more. We know there's so much more for us, but we've been told so many different messages about we're not good enough, don't be too much, don't be extra, don't shine. But she was like, you need to own your amazing. You need to own that you are amazing. And so the message inspiration for the movement is I encourage women and men to show up powerfully, to own that you are amazing. So many times we're told that we're not enough, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not thin enough, we're not fat enough, we're not black enough, whatever enough may be. But at the end of the day, we are all amazing. period,
Mm.
period. And so that is the inspiration and that is the message is that we got to show up powerfully and live our worth out loud.
Wow, that is powerful. And I love the own you're amazing. Even saying it kind of empowers you, you know?
Yeah.
For so I'm gonna go back. I know we don't want to do this, but 2020 will forever and ever be known as the year of the pandemic. And it seems to have it's going to continue a little bit into 2021, and most of us, many of us have had a lot of things come at us all at the same time. And just speaking for myself, I am a mother who is now homeschooling two kids. I am a wife that now has my husband at home, which I love him. I really do. But
Yeah.
he's at home, so we have to it's the dynamic is different. So we have to kind of get used to that. And then as a business owner now, I'm fighting to keep my business afloat. So what are the most common things that you've seen Black women going through in this past year?
I like to say that 2020 was a challenge on so many levels for all of us, right? But there's so many lessons. There's so much we can glean from it if we really take the time to reflect on it. And so that's been my thing. Like, I encourage those who are part of the Own Your Amazing movement to have taken the last couple of weeks of December to really be reflective. Like, what did you learn? You know, life is an excellent teacher if you take the time to get the lessons. So, for a lot of people, including myself, it really gave me an opportunity to get clear
Mm,
because we couldn't rip and run. We couldn't go like we used to go. And a lot of people have struggled with like clarity, like what do I really want in my life? And so it forced us to sit still, to be quiet, and to get clear. And so it also forced us to really look, how do we relate to our family members? Is work really what we want to do? And so I try not to look at it like, don't get me wrong, it was a challenge, but even for my businesses that I have, it forced me to say, how do I really want to do business? I had to pivot. One of my businesses, I have a private practice as a speech therapist, and I was seeing a lot of my clients in person. And so I had to transfer to teletherapy. That was new for me.
mm,
And so I did not begroan it. I welcomed it
mm,
because it gave me an opportunity to have another skill set under my belt. And so if we really take the time again to get the lessons, and so the challenges, I think the struggle has been we have not taken the time to learn the lesson. I want women to stop and be reflective. What did 2020 teach you? Because like they say, history has a way of repeating itself when you don't get the lesson.
mm.
So learn the lessons. Yes, it was challenging, but we got through it. Yes, it was challenging, but we learned something about ourselves. Yes, it was challenging, but now for me, I know I appreciate my family a whole lot more than I did in the past. I don't take them for granted. And so if we really not just look at the struggle, but look at the lesson. What did you learn? So that it won't be for naught. It came to teach us something. And so I challenge women not to look at 2020 as the struggle, but look at it as the teacher. What did it teach you about yourself? What did it teach you about your family? What did it teach you about the world? So that it can make you better and do things differently.
Oh my God. Like I said, she is amazing, amazing. So, and speaking of amazing, how does the Own Your Amazing movement help these women?
One of the biggest challenges, again, that a lot of women face that I talk about a lot is self care. Like you mentioned, you're now a teacher, homeschooling your kids, and you're a wife, and you're a businesswoman, playing many hats, you're having many roles. But the one role we neglect to play a lot of times is taking care of ourselves,
Mm,
being our own self care person. You know what I mean? Making sure that we're having time to be reflective, that we have time to steal away, to be quiet, to hear our own thoughts, and to know like what's important for me. What is it I want my life to look like? And so I just encourage women to really practice good self-care on a regular basis. Again, 2020 taught me that, self-care for me was an afterthought. But when I was faced with so many challenges, because I continued to work during the pandemic, I continued to see clients, and a lot of the children that I work with were very anxious. Their parents were very anxious, and so they brought that energy to me. And so I had to learn to let it go at the end of the day. I had to learn to really have some practices in place so that I could take care of me so that I could take care of them. And so oftentimes we're wearing so many hats, we're doing so many things, but if we don't take care of ourselves first, we're not able to take care of other people. We're not able to now be the teacher and have the patience with those babies in their lessons. Trust me, I know. So, it's hard. It's going to be difficult to be a good spouse when you are frustrated and bitter and angry and tired because you have not taken the time to kind of go back and refresh yourself. It's hard to focus on your business when you're worrying about things shutting down. I lost clients. Now we get clients. All of that stress and trying to figure it all out. But the key is self-care. So now I have better self-care habits. I'm making sure I'm getting my rest. I'm making sure I'm exercising. I'm making sure I'm meditating. I'm making sure I'm journaling. All those things that I know is going to help me so that I can go out and better serve other people. So self-care is big. Another thing I talk a lot about is clarity. You got to get clear. What is it that you really want? Not what they say you should want, not what you're supposed to want, but what do you want? And I find that is sometimes the most difficult question for a lot of us to answer. What do we want? Yeah. What do we really want that we don't tell everybody because we're afraid that they might criticize what we say we want, or we might think like, oh, that's silly. That's a silly idea, And so we got to get clear on what we want. And then secondly, you got to have the guts to go after it. You got to have the courage. You got to have the confidence and to believe that what I want is possible. I deserve it and I can have it, and I'm going to go for it. And so if we get those three things, I think that we'll be on a better path of creating an amazing life that we love. I always say, there's a quote that says, most people live in quiet desperation. Most people live in quiet desperation. They're not happy. They're unfulfilled. They're frustrated. They feel stuck. And so if you get clear, if you take care of yourself, and then you really muster up the guts and the courage to believe in yourself and take some action, you can have your life you want to have. It's possible because there's so many people out there living amazing lives. Why can't it be me and you? If we take the time to do it, it's possible.
Oh, wow. So for those women that are listening or watching this video and thinking to themselves, that kind of sounds like me, like really, I think I need some of this. How can they learn more about you and about Own Your Amazing?
And I will say that sounds like a lot of us.
Yes, yes. I'm sitting here myself thinking,
yeah. Because it's so true, Jamel, because and a lot of women I talk to, and here's how I always say, we look good on paper. We have all the accolades. We have the degrees. We have the corner office. We have the car. We have the house. We have the clothes, and we have the makeup done. Our faces beat. We're slaying every day. But deep down inside, we're unhappy. We're unfulfilled. We feel stuck in jobs and careers and marriages and relationships. And so my message again is that it's possible to have a life you really want. It is so possible. You do not have to settle for what you think you have to have. It's so much more for you, for me, for everyone, if we really take the time to discover what that is. So I always tell people the best way to reach out to me to learn more about the movement is to go to my website, which is ownyouramazingnnow.com, and just kind of poke around in there a little bit. But also, follow me on social media, especially on Facebook. That's where I do a lot of lives. I talk about workshops that I'm doing and things you can be a part of that I love just having people to be a part of, and they can come on and comment, be a part of a very supportive community, And so in the Own Your Amazing community, we challenge each other to be better. We hold each other accountable. If you say, hey, I want to do this, we're going to be there to cheer you on, but we're going to also hold you accountable. Didn't you say you were going to do X, Y, and Z? Come on, you can do it. You got it. You're amazing. You own it. Just go for it. And so just to see so many people's lives changed over the last few years that I've been doing this has been it's incredible and truly amazing. And I call it, I feel like it's a privilege to be a part of the journey with so many amazing people that are finally saying, you know what, I'm going to go for it. People started businesses, people have gotten healthier, they've gotten relationships, all kinds of stuff. They started, one young lady who's part of the movement, she's a painter, she paints, and she's putting her stuff out there even, more. And she's actually, I commissioned her to do a painting for me, for the All Your Amazing movement. So just really encouraging people to shine, to show up, to be brilliant, and to stop hiding. So again, to answer your question, is the first start they can go to the website onyouramazingnnow.com.
Okay. All right. And I hear that you have some special projects coming up. Can you give us a little scoop on that?
That's a little scoop. That's a little scoop. But I just want so many people to really own who they are, to own they're amazing. And I am in the process of just really taking the movement on a bigger scale, on a different platform, so that I can reach more people. Someone asked me in an interview a few months ago, to me, what's next for you, Dr. Denise? I was like, world domination. I want the world to own their man. I want to dominate that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on that journey of world domination. But I'm starting with just having a bigger platform, more access, and more visibility to people for all over the world, basically. So looking forward to that. Stay tuned, stay connected. Again, follow me on social media. I'll be making the announcements about things that are coming forth. I do have some product lines. I have a store. I'm going to be expanding the items in the store that I'm so excited about. So there's some good stuff coming down the pipe. Again, these are my dreams that I'm going for them. I'm like, hey, why not? We can do this. We can have it if we're willing to put in the time and the effort. It can happen.
Yeah, yeah. And you also have a book on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So tell us a little bit about the book. What can we find in the book?
Okay, so the book is called Own Your Amazing. I don't know if you can see that. Own Your Amazing. Discover your power to create an amazing life you love. And so, a little bit about let me just say a little backdrop about the book. I never thought that I would be an author. It never crossed my mind. It was never one of those things, oh, I want to write a book one day. The reason because when I was in high school, my senior year, mind you, my high school English teacher told me I was one of the worst writers he had ever had. Yeah. He had been teaching for years. Like, really? Oh my God. And that just really crushed me. And it crushed my confidence in my writing. And so fast forward, somebody was like, oh, you should write a book about the Own Your Amazing movement, the concepts, the things that you teach. I'm like, not me. Not me. I'm not a writer. I'm a terrible writer. Remember, my English teacher said that years ago. It's amazing how we hold on to stuff and allow those things to stop us. And then so finally someone said to me, well, what if what you could say could help somebody? That's how they got me. I said, well, all right, I'll write the book. Because if it can help one person, it was worth it. And so that's how the book came to be. It was never something I dreamed about, thought I could do, but I wrote it because I wanted to help people. And so in the book, I just talk about how we are divine creation. We are one of a kind. There's no one like you. There's no one like me. Never was, not currently, and never will be. We are just that amazing. I talk about that. And then I talk about how you can own it, how you can surround yourself with the right people, how you are a niche, how you were purposely made to serve, people with your brilliance. So that's what the book about. But what I'm excited the most about, that to some of the chapters, there are exercises for you to do. There are things for you to do to help to really hone in the lesson that I'm trying to teach in the book. So I consider it kind of like a little workbook, but you have to work through it. You have to think about who you are, how you're showing up, who you're surrounding yourself with. So I'm really excited about the book. So many people have said it has made a difference in their life, and that just does my heart good. And so I'm just excited about it. So you can find it on Amazon. And also, I tell people if you want an autographed copy of the book, you can also get that. You get that from me. You know, you can order it directly through me. Again, if you go to the website, there's a tab where you can order the book. But I love sending people autographed copies of the book because I stop and I get quiet and I say a little prayer and then I write a special message just to that person. So yes, it's on Amazon, but you also can order it directly from me.
All Naturally You is going to give away one book each week for the next 4 weeks to the person that follows us on all of our social medias, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram, and we will give away one book to one lucky person. Dr. Denise, it has been an absolute pleasure to be with you today and chat with you today. I really, really thank you for coming on and giving us such a powerful message today. Like, I think there's so many women out there and men who need to hear this, who need to hear about owning their amazing life, about stepping up and stepping into that life that they want and deserve. So thank you so, so much for coming and talking to us about this.
Thank you so much for having me, Jamel. I really do appreciate it.
All right. So everyone, please remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get all this good content and good information from amazing, amazing people just like Dr. Denise. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you soon. Bye.